Your brain is lying to you. Not always, but often. When your lungs burn, when your muscles shake, when your vision narrows and every instinct screams, "Stop now," your body may not be announcing the end. It may be activating a defense system, a warning, a barrier built to protect you long before you reach your true limit. Physical exhaustion is not just a sensation. It is a battleground, a place where biology demands safety while the will asks for one more step. The Stoics understood this battlefield well. They did not worship comfort. They did not confuse pain with defeat. They trained the mind to remain steady when the body was under pressure. Epictetus taught that suffering begins when impressions become commands, and exhaustion is one of the strongest impressions a human can face. But the question is not simply, how much pain can I endure? The deeper question is, who governs me when my body wants escape? Because the person who masters that moment does not merely survive fatigue, they become harder to break. The primitive brain has one priority: keep you alive, not make you excellent, not help you finish the mission, not build your future identity. Just preserve energy, avoid danger, return to safety. This creates the survival paradox. Your modern mind has long-term goals: discipline, strength, mastery, resilience. But your primitive system prefers immediate comfort. So when effort becomes intense, the body sends alarms, not because you are finished, but because it wants you to stop spending energy. This is often called the governor effect, the idea that the brain can restrict performance before true exhaustion arrives, protecting reserves you may still possess. This does not mean every pain should be ignored. Wisdom matters. Sharp injury, dizziness, collapse, or dangerous symptoms are not tests of character. They are signals to respect. Stoicism is not recklessness, but much of what we call the limit is actually the first wall of discomfort, and most people surrender there, not because they are empty, but because the alarm is loud. The Stoic learns to ask, is this danger or discomfort? That distinction changes everything. The urge to quit has a body. Your heart rate rises, your breathing becomes chaotic, cortisol spikes, muscles burn, the mind narrows. Suddenly your thoughts become primitive. I can't. This is too much. I need to stop. I'm done. But these thoughts are not always truth. They are data points. The nervous system is calculating the cost of continuing. It is asking, how much energy remains? How much pain is present? How far is the goal? Is this worth it? This is cognitive friction. The brain does not only measure physical effort, it measures meaning. If the task feels pointless, pain becomes heavier. If the task is connected to purpose, pain becomes more tolerable. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to meet hardship with reason, not panic. That is the key. The moment the quit response appears, you must not become dramatic. You must become precise. Say to yourself, this is an alarm, not an order. That single sentence creates distance, and distance restores command. When the body enters fight or flight, the mind wants to rush. But rushing burns more energy. Panic wastes strength. The first move is not force. It is stillness. Tactical stillness means creating a calm center inside physical chaos. You do this by narrowing your attention, not the whole workout, not the whole run, not the whole challenge, just the next breath. One inhale, one exhale, one step, one repetition. The body may be shaking, but the mind becomes still enough to lead. A simple practice is box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, Hold for 4. Even one cycle can interrupt panic. It tells the nervous system, we are not dying, we are choosing. Then shift your inner monologue. Do not ask frantic questions. Why is this so hard? What if I fail? How much longer? Ask objective ones. Where is the tension? Can I relax my jaw? Can I slow my breath? Can I take one more controlled step? This is Stoic observation. You are not denying pain. You are refusing to worship it. Pain becomes information, not identity.
The body can endure more when the mind knows why. Purpose is not poetry in this moment. It is fuel. When exhaustion rises, vague motivation disappears. You need something sharper, a reason, a mission, a future self you refuse to betray. This is why elite endurance is not built only in muscle. It is built in meaning. When the body screams, purpose answers, not loudly, firmly. I am doing this because I am becoming someone who does not quit easily. I am doing this because discipline is more important than comfort. I am doing this because my future self is watching. There is a popular idea known as the 40% rule. When your mind says you are done, you may still have more capacity left than you believe. Whether exact or not, the principle is useful. Your first limit is rarely your final limit. So when the urge to quit arrives, do not promise yourself the whole mountain. Promise the next step. 10 more seconds, 5 more breaths, 1 more repetition. Reach the next marker. This proves something to the psyche. The alarm can sound, and you can still move. That is how resilience is built, not through comfort, but through repeated evidence that you can remain sovereign under pressure.
Fatigue is usually seen as failure, a sign that something is wrong. But under discipline, fatigue becomes a teacher. It shows you where your mind becomes negotiable, where your breath loses control, where your thoughts become dramatic, where your identity still depends on comfort. This is why hard effort refines character. It reveals the hidden architecture of the self. Seneca believed difficulty was not an interruption of life, but a test of it. Fatigue asks, are you ruled by sensation or guided by principle? After you push through a safe, difficult limit, something expands. Not just the body, the mind. You carry new evidence. I wanted to stop, but I continued. I felt panic, but I steadied myself. I met the wall, and it moved. This becomes identity. You stop seeing discomfort as a threat. You begin seeing it as training. And over time, you build a protocol. Pause, breathe, observe, define the next step, reconnect to purpose, continue with control. This protocol does not only apply to physical exhaustion, it applies to grief, work pressure, fear, loneliness, discipline, life, because every hard moment has a quit response, and every quit response is a chance to practice command. There will be moments when your body begs you to stop, moments when the lungs burn, the muscles tremble, and the mind searches desperately for escape. In those moments, remember, the alarm is not always the end. Sometimes it is the gate, the place where comfort ends and character begins. The Stoic does not abuse the body. The Stoic listens wisely. But when the signal is discomfort, not danger, when the body wants ease, but the soul has chosen growth, the trained mind becomes commander. You breathe, you observe, you take the next step, and in that step, you become more than tired. You become tempered, because mastery is not proven when life feels easy. It is proven when every instinct asks you to quit, and something deeper answers, not yet. That voice is the beginning of resilience. That voice is the architecture of strength. That voice is your future self being forged inside the fire your old self wanted to escape.